Hey guys, today in this video I'll be explaining to you how to use these three triggers: time, time event, and time control. So I have this game type platformer, as you can see right here, and let's go ahead and potentially start. And this is not hard at all, this is pretty easy to do. So we need an item counter display for this. So give this an item ID to whatever you'd like, but if you in the beginning of the level, like me, what I recommend you do is to click on item ID of 1, and then what you do now is that you click on time counter. It will show you'll see C of 1, time of 1. So it will give you something like this, like 0.0 and stuff like that. If you want the time to start, you get the time trigger. And what you do now is that you take the item ID of the same item ID that you actually have in here. And then now, as you can see, the time starts. And if you want to, so seconds only basically just only does it in seconds, like without the decimal places. Left and right align is basically good if you have like text, actual text like /50 or whatever. And this is basically good for like, so that way when this thing hits like 10 seconds or like another digit, then it's not gonna mess anything up. And yeah, about time. So start time is the time you want it to start. Like if you want to start at 5 seconds, then it's gonna start at 5 seconds. If you wanted the time to stop, like at 6 seconds, and then it's not going to do anything because you have to tick this checkbox, and therefore the time is going to stop at exactly the same amount of time that this one's here. Time mod, basically what it does, it multiplies a bunch of stuff. If I hit 2, then it's going to like twice the amount, like counting by 2. If I hit like 0.01, yeah, then it's gonna be pretty slow. Target ID is whatever you want to spawn when the timer like hits stop or something like that. So for example, we're gonna pulse the background like red. If I give this a group of 2, if I set this one to 2, if this time hits 6, then it does that. Now we got start paused, which is start pause basically just starts like not starting the count or whatever. Ignore time warp, basically if you use the time warp trigger, which is basically allows you to slow or speed down the game, then basically the time also moves pretty slow too. Ignore time warp, what it does is that it basically just, the time will keep continuing when the time gets slow or fast. When time warp gets slow or fast. And it's not, for some reason at this update it's not working, like it's a bug or something, I am not sure. Or maybe it's just me. Next up is time event. Now time event is basically good for, so whenever a certain time like hits, like let's say this keeps going on, and if the time hits like 5 seconds, then another thing is activated. This is like speed running, for example. You have a minimum of like 70 seconds to hit, to finish the level. This is good for like, so if the time hits 70, then hide the coin, for example. So this is pretty easy to do. So right now, item ID of 1, the target time is the time you want it to like happen. Let's say 5 seconds. If the time will hit 5 seconds, then all of a sudden that will happen. And like this secret coin, for example, just give this a group and give this a toggle group, Toggle triggers, what basically does, it makes it like fully invisible. Give this a 3. Yeah, every time when I hit spawn multi, that's because we're gonna spawn it into different groups. Like, yeah, this one is for 3. And so, which means that when the time hits 5 seconds, as you can see, now it basically just stops. Next up that we have is the control, time control. This is pretty self-explanatory. Well, it's not really self-explanatory, but this is basically the easiest trigger in all of these two. What this basically does is that it stops and starts the time. So item ID to 1 and click on stop. Then what it does is that it stops the timer. So it's kind of like a stopwatch, for example. And then we got start, stop and start. So if I just stop it, I resume it, stop it like that, and yeah. Anyways, that is it for this video. I will make more tutorials, and if you learned something new, then that's great. And in the meantime, keep subscribing to my channel. The more subscribers I get, the more videos I will post. Anyways, that's it for this video. See ya.